going to work all the time with the up. I think Zai is going to be
Well,
taking it.
Bulba did invent Elder. Elder Titan Aura with the Veno ult.
Yeah.
A lot of magic damage there. Some natural synergy.
And in particular, a very good hero against Vis. One of his strengths is the fact that he could keep his Gravekeeper's Cloak online and just wear off a lot of that damage. Venomancer breaks that cloak off fast. Gotta keep in mind, under those cloak, you have what is a 10% magic resistant as a base here. That is squishy as heck. Very strong counter pick in my opinion again.
Also a very vision-heavy lineup that we see out of EG. Like, it's who's playing what? It's really the question now. So Arteezy Veno has been normally the way they would run this.
I mean, I guess
it's like a Sumail Bat or Void, or is it a Veno mid?
Is this the rumor Wyvern carry? I saw Ice tweeting about it, but I don't know if it's actually a thing.
Yeah, I wonder how surprising this is to Liquid. Like, is this something that shocks them and they're like, what the hell is going on? Or if they already gotten a bunch of intel, you know, heard how EG is drafting, and this is like, oh, yeah, we heard they were scrimming and doing that. Nothing too surprising.
Liquid has been scrimming anti-mage mid, right? Like, it's a thing that they've tinkered with the past. You do get an extra creep in the mid lane, so in theory, you can put a hero like Faceless Void in the mid lane and just have him farm there. It's a new look for me personally, seeing Sumail playing the hero, but I'm sure he could definitely play.
So tri-lane mid Void?
Or dual lane mid, you know.
I mean, none of these Liquid heroes are that devastating mid lane. Even Visage, you know, Void will be fine against it. Get your Quelling Blade, you'll be able to CS pretty easily.
Ah! Alright. Matumba Man Brood.
Alright, we're all over the place. So it's a Miracle Icon going mid. Matumba Man Brood, a Mind Control problem. I mean,
doing it against EG as well. Coming in there, we know that these are the two of the top teams.
I love how I will say one thing I like about this Liquid team. They just look so business-like. It definitely feels like the whole team has a bit of Kuro in them.
Yeah. Well, of course, he's the captain.
Yeah, you would hope so.
Yeah. He's like, that's what Kuro was thinking to himself, telling his teammates, and let's do better next game.
So, speaking of that next game, any big adjustments you would want to see here? Like, if you could fix one thing, is it mainly just the draft? Is it something in the execution? It sounds like we're both kind of leaning towards they just got caught off guard by the draft more than anything.
I mean, I've never seen this kind of all-in death ball push, but it wasn't a death ball at all. It was just...
It was all in push, but not all in death ball.
Exactly.
Yeah. And Liquid also executed it well. It felt like there were opportunities where if they got too cocky, they grouped up too much, EG really could have punished them in that first 15 to 20 minutes, but they were very disciplined about it.
Very educational game.
Perhaps a lot of it the Ruru, 8-0. She's got the best record at the international right now.
That's true. 100%. When you have two teams and you remain 100%, that is super impressive.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't think so, actually. Like, that's actually a true statement.
By the way, that is like a must-have for the chat wheel line.
I don't think he said it during a TI.
Oh, really?
Sure.
I like this opening because it doesn't really reveal too much about anything. I guess you know Elder Titans. That's really about it. Bat can be off lane. You know, Bat probably not going to be mid, but I wouldn't entirely rule it out, especially if they want to like put else. So I think it's still a slightly flexible pick, and it doesn't tell you much about the overall game plan, even if you know who's playing.
It also makes your lane super flexible as well. We saw Elder Titan and Bat Rider beating up on a Lycan last game, but let's say if it's a different hero. Bat could go into the jungle, ET could just roam into the mid lane instead. So you're not just married to this one particular laning strategy. So early on in the draft, you want to keep your lanes, you know, somewhat open. You want to keep them guessing, and you want the ability to react. And this 2-start is the ability, like you have the ability to react.
EG actually banned them. Like, I looked at Liquid's bans, I'm like, they didn't ban Storm, and I'm like, oh, EG, surely they're gonna want that Storm. EG actually.
So is this your Sumail Mirana?
10 seconds remaining.
Or is this...
Yeah, I would guess so. I mean, I think we've seen a handful of Miranas, but kind of questionable.
Then I'm fully 100% expecting Crit's Bane coming out. He loves playing Bane. It's, I think, to be honest, one of the underutilized support heroes that is just like got stopped picking It sets up Echo Stomp this game. It sets up Arrow this game. Very good brawler early on. You could like walk into MP's lane and start trading hits with them, no problem, because you get a brain tap.
Brawler is definitely a good word to describe Bane. So to Elder Titan's also great at that. That would give G really strong lanes.
We'll see though. Maybe
So for Liquid, you know, they love the Matumba Man Lone Druid historically. Lycan, obviously, they picked last game. We saw the Broodmother. I don't think feels that great here with the Mirana Elder Titan Bat, but, you know, we'll see what these last two picks are. Obviously, there's the Miracle Invoker,
all right.
just lurking always.
Gonna be curls here.
Wyvern, Titan, Bat Rider.
10 seconds
This is
remaining.
where you start to question your sound. Like, this is so
5
similar,
seconds remaining.
slightly different.
So you were just, you know, pointing out that Wyvern is more or less a situational pick, and I'm just not sure whether he is good in this particular situation.
Yeah, what does the Wyvern offer you this game? He's not he's okay at sniping the wards, I guess, because of the range, but the curse doesn't feel that good yet. You've got two ranged heroes. There's no sign of like that big melee hero that you have to lock down. But
And I don't think the Cold Embrace save is that good either. Like there's so much magic damage that it's possible coming out from.
it's definitely not a game where it's like, oh yeah, Wyvern really counters their draft. But
Yeah.
we'll see what Liquid pick if it. Obviously, there's some potential synergy just within the draft where Stomp can set up for a curse or vice versa. They have a lot of AoE damage, so a big team fight potential. I'm with you that
Turn to battle.
I'm not sure if the Wyvern can obviously else who's a better Miracle type.
OD is not that bad.
Yeah, I'd say it's no.
Okay.
All right, so
Give TSA a call, sir. We got a suspicious figure here.
I don't think you even know what TSA does. TSA does not have the right to deport.
TSA touches me a lot when I go to the airport and talk to me.
Lumi, you were not hired for your immigration expertise to reconsider when they picked the silencer.
I really love how RTZ kind of took us back to the times where the baby RTZ was playing the hard carry. I really felt that this game. He put the team on the shoulder, especially through the first 25 minutes when Sumail, like we pointed out, was slowly ramping up on the Mirana. His contribution, he was able to take down so many towers and win so many team fights for them. So I guess we don't need to say that.
Yeah, he's quite good in the meta because the meta revolves around like team fight, like good lane, good in the lane, good team fight, can jungle a little bit, and Void is a multi-role hero nowadays. Back in the day, he's like mostly an off lane, but nowadays you see. I mean, we even saw like a mid Void by KO, but I'm not a fan of that. But
Yeah.
Void is generally like multi-role. You can go safe lane, you can go off lane, so it's quite like. You know, when we talk about LGD picking the first 4 heroes previously, when they pick their core heroes, because they are trying to keep their options open. But this game is a bit more different because it's the task generates a position for. So they are trying to, if they are gonna move their roles around, it's gonna be the safe lane and the off lane because it's a Void.
You talk about going back and Void being traditionally an offlaner. That was 11's hero back in the old eHome days when he was playing offlane.
He was playing a lot of Tusk as well back then.
Tusk, Void, but he was
Very annoying for Lycan. Because you don't want to go up against heroes that can stop you. Like they basically right now they have 2 heroes that can control you through BKB. 3 heroes, including the Tusk, the Punch. So it's gonna be very annoying for Lycan. Void carry. So they have the Void carry, offlane X. Pretty much everything set in stone right now. Their last pick has to be their mid hero. And see what does Liquid respond to this. They're still tied. Tide is pretty good against Void, I'd say, because when the Void, like neither one wants to be the person that moves. Ooh, so it's gonna be wait off the overpower.
Yeah.
You destroy the egg.
I mean, it's pretty good against the Lycan
It's
if you can lock
it's
him
good
down.
against all their heroes.
It doesn't pair well with the Void. That's the one thing I'd say. Right now, both their other core heroes.
To a support role, with Bad Rider being played by Kezu. He was very good at that yesterday. It's actually works really nicely to also block the pick from Team Liquid. If they actually got the Bat Rider and the Night Stalker together,
Yes.
running that 4-position Night Stalker, 3-position Bat,
It's strong.
it would have been really difficult for Team Secret to take a fight.
At the same time, it's like one of these damn it if you do, damn it if you don't situations where yes, you could give the Bat Rider away, but at the same time, you just pick Bat Rider into Night Stalker, who limits your visions. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, it doesn't feel the greatest maybe for Secret to pick this hero, but they're very confident in Kezu's ability, and like you said, it's also semi-deny pick, so
Yeah.
it's probably all right.
They just have to coordinate a little bit better. Like you got Clockwork Rocket Flare. This will give you a little bit more eyes. And it's a lot of deep push now. Like you've got
Pretty poor tournament overall in terms of win rate. I think this hero has had a pretty poor tournament overall in terms of win rate. I think there's been definitely more games lost than won. Okay, now I'm saying definitely. That's a bad thing to do when you haven't checked the stats. My gut tells me
10 seconds.
that Invoker has lost more games than it has won. The very memorable game, of course, that he won was the marathon yesterday between Empire and IG. Or was it IGV? IGV.
that was the paparazzi game.
120-minute defensive game with Invoker and Drow.
The 48 fantasy points for one game for the Invoker.
That was quite something.
It was pretty nice. But it's also fantastic. So mid one gets that one. Synergizes nicely with Clockwork and Bat Rider, so they can go for nice ganks and then still have that bonus damage from the Sunstrike. Difficult for Shadow Shaman in fights when he wants to stand still and continue to channel. Shackles and the Brood Mother is up. Well, that answers our offlane question.
Does smirk on his face right now. Does he? Matomaman's warming up. I'm getting to play Brood.
we got this, boys.
You know what? It doesn't surprise me that this guy's a Brood player. You know why? He's playing all of these annoying heroes, you know. Can't play Lifesteal a single time while being a member of Team Liquid because it's one of them. And now Liquid are just going to walk out feeling happy about themselves. Kuro with that grin on his face. Did you guys see that?
You see, understands how to play the Night Stalker. Die and make space, obviously. Game 2 coming up in just a bit. Team Secret still hunting for that win. Winners bracket, putting Team Secret in one hell of a bad spot.
Didn't they guarantee Secret lower bracket as well?
I believe so.
I think they are done as well for this. They can. This game still matters for Secret because it can secure them 5th, or at least a tie for 5th with IGP.
So they can choose between
lane matchup against Faceless Void is great. There we go.
the bomb,
It's great against Void.
Sheen.
It's a good choice. This is a way of preventing the healing. It's an alternative approach. Instead of having the massive damage, they're going to try to just prevent them from casting their healing spells. Silencer, a nice pick in this position. I was wondering if Secret were going to go for something like heavy spell burst, but Invoker has already been banned by Liquid, seeing the Void pick. I'm not sure what other spell burst heroes mid one really shines on. He's good on Ember, but the synergy with Void is pretty lackluster. You could get something like, you could play his TA, but that's really bad against Necro. Yeah, and the Storm Void is also awkward, you know. The Silencer seems like a very good choice. Like, whether it's a core or support, this is a hero that can use the Chrono and can counter Liquid. I think this was more or less the best hero in the pool, so nice pick from Secret in this position. And it seems like it's got Liquid thinking a bit.
Yeah, Liquid are going to burn some of their reserve time. But we're still looking for the other lanes from them. Like, we don't know about the off lane. Potentially they pick up their secondary support now if the Earthshaker isn't that. We need comfort. We need Rubik. That's what we need. Let the Silencer run mid. We need Yapsor's Rubik. Except he'll probably play the SK in this game.
Yeah, most likely he will be playing Sand King. I think so too.
Yeah.
It could still be an offlane Sand King from Kezu and the safe lane Void. It is a possible constellation of heroes,
but when you're popping up saying they don't have enough damage, running safe lane Faceless Void can sometimes really bite you in the butt.
yeah. The problem that they have is that both their
Spirit.
core matchups lose to Necro. Void and Sand King both lose that lane pretty hard, I think. I think this is a solid choice, the Pugna. yeah. Who's where though? I don't think you put Pugna mid here, man. That's gonna be rough.
Yeah, that's something like I'm wondering like exactly who's what. Puppy Pugna is not an uncommon thing.
Could
So
do that.
if you want to switch him into the support, you could still have your off lanes SK, you have your safe lane Void.
The more I look at this, the more I like the Void mid, actually. But it depends what Liquid last pick. If the Void has a matchup mid that's playable, I think that's where they should put him, and then they should look for some more unorthodox lanes maybe, where they have maybe the Pugna in the safe lane, and then they run an aggro tri-lane with Sand King Silencer and Gyrocopter together. Something like that. Because this mid lane is going to be a nightmare. So you might as well you might as well just put the hero there that was supposed to be off lane. So he's gonna get screwed anyway, and he would lose top as well. So you could try to like get around the problems in that way.
Yeah.
Let's see what Liquid choose to go for here. They're taking a lot of time. This Pugna pick might have thrown them off a little bit.
Look at Kuro's hands are up in the air at the moment. And
Oh, you need to pick a hero, man.
he's got 6 seconds. Hand on the mouse. The time it takes to move from hand to mouse to click, and we get anti-marker. Anti-marker.
Anti-mage mid.
Miracle anti-mage. Matumbaman will take the Necro. Mind Control has the Earthshaker.
Yeah. So
And
this
on the other side, was it? So it's Kezu's Void. It will actually be MP on the gyro.
I'm really thinking ahead to the main event. What you do if you give this team IO. If that is just a default ban, you simply cannot give away, and then you target.
Fantastic performance from Liquid 2-0. Congratulations on the #1 position in the group. There is a lot more Dota 2 coming up. One main series and then potential tiebreakers if we do have them in Group B. But Group A is done and dusted for now. Everyone's locked in, and we'll wait to see the next result and the next Dota after the break.